Oh, you poor, poor thing of a bride. You went through all that effort of inviting all those guests, yet not a single one of them is going to be showing up. How does that feel for you? Please tell me. What? I'm sure it's not only heartbreaking for you, but very embarrassing as well, right? I'm so sorry about that, Raven. I stole all your guests from you. But this was bound to happen to you, right? After all, people would much rather come to a beautiful woman's wedding like mine than to some ugly woman's wedding. I'm not really sure what all of this is about right now, so could you please explain it to me? I guess there aren't any of my guests here yet, but they should all be here soon, right? Huh? Oh, not a single person is going to be coming to your wedding. Everyone from the office is coming to my wedding today, so there won't even be a single person on your guest list attending today. What? Wah, wah, wah. This is what happens when an ugly woman like you tries to be cheeky and pull a wedding. Even though you went through all that trouble to make those plans up, not a single person will be coming to see you today, so this will leave a blemish on your past for sure. You've been going on about how nobody will be coming to my wedding, right? So does that mean today you'll be having your wedding as well, Sky? That's correct. I thought this would be fun to do, so I went and made sure to schedule mine on the same day as yours. All with the hope of ruining your wedding for you. What? So you're intentionally trying to ruin my wedding? Honestly, I was wanting to have my wedding before yours, but not a single place had openings any sooner than today. So in the end, I ended up having to choose the same day as you. But of course, out of all the people we both invited, not a single one of them would choose to go to your wedding over mine. And there was no way I would have my wedding any later than yours, because I'm not coming in second place to some ugly monkey. I truly thought that you, of all people, would stay single for the rest of your life. But then you came into the office talking about how you would have a wedding coming up. That got me all worked up, and I had to hustle to make sure I'd find myself a man to marry. But of course, since I'm so good looking, that wasn't too hard for me at all. Before I even had a chance to call out to anyone, I had already found myself the perfect man to make mine forever. That's your reason for why you're getting married and on the same day as me? And you've gone and invited everyone from work as well? I wanted to make sure you didn't get ahead of me in any way, so there you go. Now, being the gross woman that you are, shut your mouth and let this happen. I'm sorry for stealing all your guests from that wedding you worked so hard on, but I'm sure the groom will be just as ugly, if not more ugly than you, so nobody will want to see any of that. Are you not aware of who I'm getting married to? What? I'm having this wedding with Mr. Gardner, the department manager. You were going on and on and on at the office about how attractive he was and everything. So it's a little messed up of you to call him ugly now just because he's getting married to me. Wait a second, please. You're getting married to... Huh? To Mr. Gardner? That's right. I'm kind of used to you always calling me ugly and such, but I'm not okay with you calling my husband ugly now. Drake is not at all ugly, and even you acknowledged that in the office plenty of times. We both know how good he looks and that he's a cool guy. Huh? Did you just call him your husband then? There's no way Mr. Gardner would ever have a reason for getting married to an ugly duckling like you. And besides, he's a married man. He's so deeply in love with her that no matter how hard I tried flirting with him, he didn't bat an eye toward me. So how the hell could a man like him be getting married to you? That wife he's so deeply in love with is me. Drake and I have actually been married for 5 years now. Huh? What did you just say? The only people within the company that knew about us being married were his higher-ups. So don't take this too hard on yourself for not knowing anything. Actually, I kind of was making sure you didn't find out about how him and I have been married. Huh? I mean, Sky, ever since you moved into this office with me, you've had your eyes set on him, right? You also have been calling me ugly ever since joining us and always go on about how I could never get married. I thought that if you found out about me being married to him of all people, things would only become worse regarding how you treat me. That's why for plenty of years now, both him and I have done everything we could to make sure you'd stay in the dark. Wait. I have no idea what you're going on about. The man I've been after all this time, Mr. Gardner, is your husband? He's the only man I've ever flirted with that hasn't even bothered to look at me. That's why I gave up on him and went after another man. You're telling me the reason he's never bothered with me is because he's married to the most ugly woman at work? The most ugly? And you're the most insulting. Then tell me, why are you guys only deciding to have your wedding now? If you guys got married to one another 5 years ago, then why have the wedding now? At the time, neither him nor I really cared at all about the theatrical things like the wedding or the honeymoon. We both chose to get ourselves a house that we really loved first before dumping any of our money into those things. But recently, he's really been wanting to see what I'd look like in a wedding dress. So we decided in the end that we'd host the wedding on our anniversary, which just so happens to be today. You're having the wedding on your anniversary? It's funny how you were just going on about not wanting me to get married any earlier than you were, right? It's been 5 years now, so you're 5 years late. What the hell? Who do you think you are laughing at me? It's starting to sound like you find my situation pretty funny now. Well, that's because the situation you've gotten yourself into is pretty funny. I've been married for years now and will have plenty of people coming today for my wedding. What? Now I have to get back to the dressing room because Drake and I have a wedding to give. I hope both you and I can have a very nice wedding today.
I just got my parents to the hotel they'll be staying at tonight. Both of them were so happy to be with us today and said that the wedding was amazing.
I just got my parents back to their house as well. I think those two were even more excited to see their daughter in a dress than you were to see your wife in one. They took so many photos on their phones of us that they have to go back and delete some to make room again.
I'm so happy that both of our families had a great time today. And seeing you today, looking that beautiful, was the best thing I've seen. Ever. But sorry about this morning, Raven. I'm sure you were shocked by what Sky was saying.
I've told you already not to worry about what she said. You knew about how she was planning to try and ruin this wedding and keep that a secret as to not worry me, right?
The fact that everyone in the office told me about what was going to happen really helped. Everyone was a little confused about what to do today because of those 2 invitations, so they came to me looking for answers. So, lucky for that, I was able to tell them all to still come to our wedding and avoid Sky's at all costs. I know that a few people went to her wedding, but even they chose to come here right after to say hi to us and see how happy we both looked.
And luckily for that, we were able to avoid having our wedding ruined by her.
I wanted to make sure you wouldn't have any worries today, and only smile the way I like you to. I really am thankful for what everyone did today. I was a bit worried myself that not everyone would get the notice and would end up going to Sky's wedding instead. But pretty much everyone did come on time, and that's such a blessing for you and I.
From what I heard, those that did go to Sky's wedding only stayed around for 30 minutes before coming to ours. They all said congrats to her and then immediately turned around and came here. I'm sure Sky may be a little upset right now.
Now, she can get as mad as she wants, but this all happened to her because of what she had done. What did she think she was doing, trying to get everyone to go to her wedding in order to ruin ours? What a sore loser she is. Also, I heard from a few of the people in the office that when she handed out the invitations last minute, she said they only needed to stop by for a little bit, so she was kind of already setting herself up for failure.
Really? Well, then she has no reason to get upset with anyone but herself.
Now, I know that you and I were able to have a great wedding today, but she really did have people worried, including myself. When we get back to the house, let's you and I open a couple beers and celebrate.
You've really done it now after what happened yesterday. Ruining my frickin' wedding like that? And marrying the man of my dreams 5 years ago like that? Give me back the love of my life right now. What are you talking about, Sky? You only met Drake a few years ago, so he's not been the love of your life. And don't you have a husband yourself now? I heard you got married to a very impressive lawyer. He is very impressive and has lots of money, and I'd have to say he's perfect as my husband. But I am talking about our manager now. The only reason I chose this lawyer is because Mr. Gardner never ever looked at me and made me his wife. So you've really been wanting Drake that badly? Why did you get to end up being the wife of that man? I thought that if he had the audacity to ignore me all the time, then that meant he had a really gorgeous-looking wife. I thought that he was married to one of the most important people on this planet, a celebrity, if you will. But instead, it turns out he's married to one of my coworkers, and just to make matters worse, the worst-looking woman in the office. I will not let you get away with this. Say that all you'd like, Sky, but we've been married for 5 years now and just had our wedding. I don't care about any of that. I'm going to make sure to steal that husband of yours no matter what. What? Steal him from me? If I don't, then it's going to look like I've gone and lost to an ugly whore. Ever since I was in middle school, I've been able to get my hands on whatever man I've liked. So I'm going to make you taste the kind of power I have. Let's calm down here. You need to hold your horses there for a sec, Sky. Before you go and start trying to steal someone's husband, how about you think about the position you're really in? You yourself just got married to your husband yesterday, right? You have a man now, so how are you going to go about stealing another woman's husband? I'll think about that after I have your husband. I can just divorce my husband and take Mr. Gardner after that. Or I can just continue to date him while acting like I'm still in love with my current husband. Honestly, I'm okay with anything as long as I get to have your husband. Why are you such a bitch, Sky? I can be a bitch all I want because us pretty girls can get away with anything we want. And even if people start to find out I've been cheating on my husband with yours, my husband is a lawyer and is love-struck by me. There's no way he'd want to divorce me over a little bit of cheating anyway. Well, he's wanting that divorce. Huh? I'm actually with your husband right now. And I've been showing him every little thing you've been saying to me this whole time. So guess what? He wants to divorce you now. Wait a second. Why are you with my husband right now? Today he should be at work and so should you. He was a bit worried about his wife, so he came out to see Drake and I. He's been so worried about the way you've been acting that he needed to come and talk to 2 of the people you work with about you. How wonderful of a husband you have, Sky. Too bad you're letting him go. What? From what he's told us, you were acting all high and mighty yesterday morning, thinking you were doing the right thing by marrying him last minute in order to beat me. Also telling him that you had planned to steal all my guests in order to ruin my wedding. Well, he wasn't too happy to hear all that from you and instead started to feel really concerned after the wedding was over with. He just told my husband that he can even use his position as a manager for this company to take you to court for trying to ruin his wedding. Your husband's face is very red right now because of how upset he is with you. Excuse me? It was tough for both myself and Drake to explain to him what's been going on with you inside the office and outside of it, but your husband is a very level-headed individual. He listened to everything we had to say to him without saying a single word. And he knows that neither of us are to blame for your behavior. We even went and showed him the texts you were sending me on the day of the wedding. And he began to apologize to me for all the rude things you were saying. He even got on his hands and knees and apologized for your actions. Hold the hell up. You went and told every little detail to that man? And you showed him all the texts I sent to you? And that was the easiest way to get him to understand what was going on with you. I just got a text from him. He's telling me the divorce is happening. He may have been love-struck by you, but that didn't last long at all after he realized what a child you really are. He's even gone and told us that he hates women like you, thinking you can do whatever you want because of your looks. What? My husband had also been recording a lot of the things you say to him at the office. All kinds of things, like you flirting with him and talking poorly about others in the office to make yourself look better. All of that was recorded and more. Even those times where Drake would obviously say no to your advances, but you'd just keep pushing and pushing until you forced him to get up and leave work for the day. What? My husband really knows how to cover all his corners when dealing with risks inside the company. Who knew all those audio recordings would really come in handy today? So then this means my husband knows about everything? About all the times I tried so hard to get with Mr. Gardner? And about all of those love letters I've been placing on his desk for the past year? There's also the things like you throwing away all those lunches I made for him, and then you going to him during lunchtime and trying to force him to eat the lunch you'd make for him. There are even some audio recordings here that I never heard about, and they've really got me riled up. Wait, at the time... Consider this the end of your super short marriage, Sky. So please, enjoy what talks are to come after your husband gets back home to you. How could you do this to me? Because of you, we really are going to be getting a divorce now. I thought that after a week had gone, things were getting nowhere, but it seems your husband really wants that divorce, huh? Please let your husband know my husband and I say congrats. Shut the hell up! This was my impressive and rich lawyer that I finally got for myself. We even had our wedding, and only days later he's wanting a divorce and is going to get it. Why is this happening to me? You're really asking why now? The reason for that divorce is because of your toxic behavior, so I think that you're getting exactly what you were asking for now. Don't start acting like this was anyone else's fault. Huh? No matter how you think of this, it's all your fault. You thought that as an ugly woman, you could be married, and you were the one that went and married my man of all people and caused this to happen to me. Yet you're going to keep on acting like none of this is your fault and isn't affecting you in any way? You have no right to act that way. Now that you've done this to me, I'm going to do the same thing to you. You divorce Drake right now. No, thank you, Sky. Unlike you, my relationship with Drake is very strong, and we are both very happy with one another. Shut your frickin' mouth. I'm telling you to get that damn divorce, so do it. If you don't, then things will be unfair for me. How come I have to be the one to get a divorce while you, of all people, get to be happily married to a man like him? I will not let that happen. Would you calm down already? Drake and I have been thinking about having kids, but if this is the way they act, then I think we'll just get a cat instead. All that yelling isn't going to get you anywhere and will only land you in the ER. Shut up! Don't talk back to me like that, you ugly whore! You give your husband to me right now! I know that even a man like him wants a beauty like me to become his wife, so hurry up and give me Mr. Gardner! I know that right now he's regretting ever getting married to an ugly freak like you.
I'm not regretting it at all. If anything, I'm extremely thankful to have her. Raven is not only important to me, but is also the most beautiful woman I've ever laid my eyes upon.
What?
I think it's time for you to stop throwing a temper tantrum, you big baby. I've made it so clear to you many times now that I'm not into you at all and have a wife of my own. Yet for some reason, that never seems to mean anything to you, and you continue to try harder and harder. When are you gonna give the hell up?
Is this you, Mr. Gardner? Oh, Mr. Gardner, I really, really love you. You have a handsome face and do your work so well that I would love to make you my husband. I think that someone as outstanding as you would look perfect as my husband. Don't you want to have yourself a gorgeous wife?
I already have one. She has a very good posture, and her body's balance is something most models would die for. Actually, a nut job like you would never work well beside me, considering your character is more rotten than that of a jack-o'-lantern on Christmas Day. So it's a huge no from me.
What?
You said it yourself. I have a handsome face, work very well, I'm a nice guy to be around. And that means someone like me would most definitely not look great with an ugly woman like you.
What? Wait. Did you just call me ugly? The most beautiful woman in the company, ugly? The manager called me ugly?
How many times are you going to say that? I don't get how you can keep on calling yourself the most beautiful when 90% of the office thinks you're not only physically ugly, but mentally as well. Every single thing about you is disturbing, and it makes even the most kind people in the office shiver.
Huh? Why would you say so many horrible things about me? I am meant for you. A beauty like me has told you so many times now that I love you, yet you keep being so rude.
Who do you think you are saying that you're meant for me? Didn't you just marry another man like a week ago?
I only married him because he was second on my list. Really, I want to be with you and only you. I always wanted to be with you, and I'll leave him for you. I really want to marry you because you and I are meant to be.
Well, could you please tell me who is your third in line? What about your fourth? Or fifth?
What?
Sky, I'm going to change character for a second here and be your manager now. You should no longer come back to the office, alright? Look, someone like you who never gets any work done and just goes around the office all day talking to men, not something this company allows. So you're being fired now.
What? Wait a second, please. You said I'm being fired? And have been talking with men all this time at work?
Don't try playing dumb with me, all right? This morning, I had 3 women come in claiming to be your boyfriend's wife.
3 women? At the same time?
One of them is a customer to the company. Another works at a hair salon down the street. It seems like you've been going out with all kinds of people's husbands now, huh? And let's not talk about all the time you take off from work to go out and fool around. There's already more than enough evidence of that. And those 3 wives made sure to let me know about it.
Hold on, please,
And in order to hide the fact that you've been taking such long breaks some days and not coming to work on other days, you've been forcing colleagues in the office to finish up your work for you. Well, I'm sorry to say, there's nothing else this company can do for you besides fire you.
No way. Oh, please, just wait a minute, Mr. Gardner. I can't be fired right now. I'm being divorced by my husband right now, and he's asking for me to pay him back for the whole wedding we had. If I lose my job now, I won't be able to carry on.
Don't get so upset there, Sky. Someone as tenacious and stubborn as you can do anything. You're like a cockroach, and no matter how tough things seem to get, you'll find a way.
A cockroach?
Now that you're all up to speed on current affairs, I'm going to start working on the documents I need to hand in for your termination. This also means you're never to come around my wife and I again. If for some reason you still don't listen to me and do show your face again around us, then I'll have to take further action. Not as your ex-manager, but as Raven's husband. And you really don't want to experience that.
After everything that happened, my husband went and handed in the termination documents to HR, and Sky was officially fired from the company. Right after that happened, she then went back to her ex-husband, the lawyer, and begged for him to help her out by protecting her a little longer. She cried and cried and cried, saying she'd be his one and only, but he didn't listen to her and completely turned her away. Then, out of some strange form of luck, he was later seen fighting her in the courtroom as those wives of the men that Sky had been going out with made him their lawyer. Having all the evidence they needed made all the court cases go by smoothly, and all 3 of them were able to get a settlement from her. Because of all the debt, she had to go into borrowing money for all those settlements and the money she owed her ex for the wedding fees. Sky had to leave town and move back home with her parents, where she's now working at a dirty little dive bar.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Mom, I just wanted to ask if for tomorrow's wedding, you'd go ahead and not show up for me. I've already had your seat taken away and everything, so...
Excuse me?
So, since you have no seat now, please don't come. I'll make sure to send you pictures of the wedding and everything later, all right?
Hold your horses, Summer. Why would you ask me to stay away from your wedding day out of nowhere like that? You know I can't do that on my daughter's most important day.
Huh? Why not? The bride is asking you not to come to her wedding, so you can shut up and do as the bride is telling you, all right?
Why are you saying things like that to me now? Why don't you want me coming to my own daughter's wedding?
Well, Mom, I'd really like to cut ties to you after this. So I can't just have you coming to my wedding if I don't even want you around me anymore, right? That would make no sense.
You want to cut ties to me? Hold on, Summer. Tell me what's gotten into you all of a sudden. Telling me not to come to your wedding and saying that you want to push me away by cutting ties? Did I do something wrong to you?
Look, Mom, do you have any idea who the man is I'll be marrying tomorrow? I'm going to be getting married to the son of a very distinguished family who runs a large company. So in other words, starting tomorrow, I'm going to become a part of some very famous people. And when that happens, I'm no longer going to need some moneyless woman like you as my mom.
Moneyless woman?
Why are you so surprised by all of this? You've always been living your life with a very little income, right? Once Dad had divorced you, our home became one of very little money and a whole lot of sadness. When was the last time you bought yourself some new clothing, Mom? Like, 10 years ago?
I guess we have been a smaller family now ever since your father left us and luck has not been on our side, but I have put all my energy and money into raising you to make sure you were always happy. I wanted you to never have to feel the pain of being raised by only a mother and on the income of only myself. So I would spoil you with a lot of what I earned in the hopes that you'd never notice the void he left behind. But to see you forgetting my sacrifice now and calling me a moneyless woman, it hurts!
Huh? You think I'm forgetting anything about that? I never cared enough to memorize what you did for me, so how could I be forgetting it now? If anything, the only thing I've held on to is the hate I have for you.
Huh?
Because you had to go and get that divorce with Dad, you left my life in tatters. I had to start living the life of a poor little girl in a single-parent household. Do you have any idea how many horrible memories I have from being around you?
You know the reason why your father and I had to get a divorce, right? Your father was addicted to slot machines and would never stop gambling no matter how much I told him to stop and step away. So I started to think only about you, and that led me to getting that divorce from him. It's not good to have someone addicted to gambling raising a child as well.
If you really wanted to care about me and my well-being, then where's the money I need? I had to live for years under you with no money and with very little to entertain myself. Had you just stuck with Dad, at least then I would have had the money he won from playing slots all the time. I think being raised in a moneyless household is way worse for me than living with a gambling addict.
That's why in order to have money for you, I've put in a lot of work over the years. And it's been 15 years now since the divorce, so that's 15 years of me working for your sake. And not just working a job, but working as two parents to make sure you were raised into the person you are now. I made sure to never focus on myself, only looking at you and working towards the great future I wanted you to have. That allowed you to go and study what you wanted at the school you wanted to attend. I'm sure I never made you feel as though you were living in poverty, right?
Huh? That's strange, considering that every day I was in the same house as you, I felt like I was living in a poor man's home. I wish I had the lives all my friends had, going overseas every year for vacation with their family. I wanted to be like them, going to Disney Park every year for a week.
Well, all of those friends happen to have parents working high up in large companies, right? Especially that one girl, whose dad is the CEO. While comparing the money I was bringing into their parents. I had worked so hard for you, Summer, and I really made sure there was enough money for you, even without your father ever paying child support.
It's your job as my parent to work hard for me, so stop acting like you're someone special for something like that. Let's be real here, you should have never married someone like Dad and had a kid with him in the first place if you knew things would never turn out well for me. Being born into a moneyless family has really caused me so much trouble. I'm a victim of someone who never cared enough about her money or her situation, and I've had to pay for your flaws for the past 15 years.
What did you say?
Someone who's done all of that to me is not going to be coming to my wedding to celebrate my happiness. That's why you're not coming to my wedding anymore. I'm going to become a somebody for once, and I don't need some moneyless woman there celebrating that. A poor woman like you, with nothing to show for, shall never come around me ever again.
Are you sure about this?
Shut the hell up, you old hag. I think I'm very sure about all of this, considering I've told you to stay away so many times now.
Then I guess I have no other option. I gave it my all raising you, but I can't just force you to let me be a part of your future anymore. Please have a wonderful life with that Alex of yours.
Of course Alex and I are going to become happily married. I don't need to hear that from you, you idiot. Hey, Jody, what do you think you're doing as the mother of the bride? Hurry up and come to the wedding right now, please.
Huh? Renee?
I heard from your daughter that you're not coming today because you don't feel well enough. But there is just no way that someone like you would be feeling so bad that you can't make it to one of the most important days in your daughter's life. Even if you have a small fever, you can manage coming here still, right? You are her mother, so please be here to see her go from your little girl into Alex's wife. Both the bride's and groom's parents have put a lot of effort into this event, so you shouldn't miss it.
Could you hold on for one moment, please, Renee? What do you mean my daughter told you I wasn't feeling well enough today?
What do I mean? She said that you're feeling sick today. She said you became so anxious about her wedding that it ended up getting you sick. That's why Summer had to tell the wedding planner you wouldn't be coming today.
I'm not feeling sick or anything, though, today. The reason I'm not there right now is because Summer told me to stay away.
What?
For some reason or another, she seems to really hate me now. Apparently, she has no use for a single-parent mother anymore. She told me that she's going to be part of a more higher-class people now, so she has to cut ties to me. And that means I can't come to her wedding anymore.
You're lying, right? Summer said all of that to you?
I do have a lot to say about it, but since this is her wedding, I can't go against what she said. If the bride is telling me to stay away, then I'm going to stay away. So, with that, I'd like for you and your husband to please celebrate a little extra in my absence. And please take good care of my daughter for me.
Why are you so calm when saying all of that to me? You're just going to let Summer get away with saying all those terrible things to you? If my son had ever said something like that to me, I would have been spanking his butt for 5 days straight.
You really are such a powerful mother, aren't you, Renee? Which is amazing considering when you and I first met, you were so calm and kind.
And I've been the one watching you raise Summer all by yourself for the past 15 years. Hearing from you what she said, it really breaks my heart. I'm sorry, Jody, but I cannot let her say things like that to someone who has sacrificed so much.
Ah, I see. I totally forgot you've been by my side ever since that divorce from my ex-husband. Time has really gone by fast, hasn't it?
That's how it feels to all of us. But listen to me, Jody, I am so upset with what I've heard. You are one of my most dear friends, and you're telling me the daughter you raised with so much love is now stabbing you in the back? I want you to hang tight for me, okay? I'm going to do something about this right now.
You don't have to do anything, Renee. I'm totally fine right now, so there's no need to worry.
But I'm not fine at all, Jody. I thought that because she's your daughter, she'd be just perfect for my son. But now I'm being told that she's the exact opposite of her mother. I have to go and do something about this. Mom, you can come to my wedding right now. I am finally all right with you being here now, so you'd better hurry up so we can get on with things.
What? Why are you talking to me again now? I thought you told me yesterday that you were cutting ties to me.
Well, there was some trouble with that, so I have to ask you to come out here now. Right now, Alex's mom is getting all up in my face complaining about things, so having you here will be the only way that'll shut her up. She keeps going on and on about how my mom isn't here and how that's really messed up of me.
I see.
I tried to tell everyone that you're not here because you're feeling sick, but she's not buying it any. So it really does hurt me to say this, but you're allowed to come now. But I'm only doing this so that my wedding isn't canceled and I can have a happy marriage with Alex, so hurry up and get over here.
I understand the situation you're in now, but I'm a bit unsettled.
Huh? Why are you unsettled? You should be over the moon with happiness now that your daughter is letting you come to her wedding. So stop what you're doing and get over here.
I'm sorry, but I can't do that now. Right now I'm out having something to eat. I have this really delicious parfait coming to my table right now, so I'm going to have to stay and eat it.
Huh? Who cares about a stupid parfait? You should be far more interested in your daughter's wedding. If you do come over here right now, I'll even play nice and forget about ever wanting to cut ties to you. So you should really want to come now, right?
Huh? You want to stop this whole cutting ties to me thing?
If having you around me is the only way to ensure I have a great wedding with the son of a very wealthy family, then I have no other choice.
What should I do here? If I had the time, I'd really like to be there to see your wedding, but this parfait looks so good.
Why are you getting stuck between a stinking parfait and your daughter's wedding? You should only be worried about your daughter's wedding, right? I'm telling you that even without any money, I'll let you come and celebrate my wedding with everyone else.
What was that?
This should be one of the biggest surprises of your life, hearing that you will finally be allowed to come to my wedding. So hurry up and get over to my wedding before I start to have a change of heart again. Does she look like some kind of toy to you? She is your mother of all people, and you're going to act and play with her like that? I have had enough of you, Summer. I'm not going to ever think of you as my daughter ever again. What? And I'm sure Jody is feeling the same way about you right now. So don't you even bother with either one of us now, because you will never be either one of our children. I'm asking you to please leave us alone, especially your mother. Wait a second. What? This isn't you, Mom? Who even is it that I'm talking with right now? This is Alex's mother, and who you might call your mother-in-law. But you guys aren't going to be having this wedding anymore, and I'm not going to let the two of you be married. So you can say goodbye to ever calling me your mother. What? Why are you using my mom's phone right now, Renee? That's because I left the wedding to come and see her. She had already told me she wasn't coming to the wedding, and you had lied to me, saying this was all about how your mother was sick or something. Well, I don't have the want to celebrate your happiness anymore after learning the truth, so I left to meet up with my friend, your mother. What? I found her sitting here at the local cafe she's always at, eating this really amazing-looking parfait all by herself. So I've joined her now and ordered one myself. Oh, it feels so wonderful to be in the presence of a good friend like her. And the nostalgia. Her and I always used to come to this place. What? What do you mean you used to always go there? Are you and my mom really that well acquainted with one another? That's right. Her and I have been friends for over 15 years now, I think. 15 years? I started to learn about her at this gathering for moms. It was a place for mothers struggling with raising their kids, dealing with their husband, and many other things to get together and talk. And that's where I had first met her, and that's why right now her and I are best friends. What? At that point in time, when first meeting her, I was so burnt out by the stress of raising a child. Being married to a man who runs such a powerful company meant that I had to really raise my son into the perfect little prodigy to one day take over that company from his father. And the pressure from both my mother-in-law and the rest of his family was huge. And hearing about all the other moms who were raising their little prodigies, it just drove me up the wall. So I chose to one day go to a gathering for average moms, and there I ran into your mother. Hearing the stories from her made me feel like I was doing a great job myself as a mother and didn't need to worry about all the pressure on my shoulders. She even began to help lift me up, complimenting the ways I raised my boy and by giving me pointers. You're lying. You've known my mom for that long now? She was at those gatherings because she had just become a single mother and was looking for help herself. So in order to help one another out, we would both always meet up, even outside those gatherings, and even come to this exact cafe to chat about our lives and laugh a little. It was our way of finding that little bit of time in our lives as mothers to relax and be ourselves. What? So you guys have really been that close to one another? But as our kids began to get older and older, we became more separated due to time constraints. To think that one day we'd come back to one another because our kids wanted to get married? What a coincidence, right? I was so happy to see one of my best friend's daughters come to my house with my son to introduce herself. And I was really excited for today's wedding as well, Summer. But all of that excitement is lost now because of you ruining it all. If I'm not going to have any fun celebrating this wedding for you, then there's no point in having it at all. No way. I've already talked with both my husband and Alex, and I told them to cancel the wedding right now. I am not going to let there be a wedding between my son and someone I can no longer trust being my daughter-in-law. Now, that is going to be it from me. My parfait just got to the table, and I'd like to eat this with my friend. Hey, Mom, what the hell was that yesterday? Why did you never tell me that you were such good friends with Alex's mom?
I wasn't hiding that from you as some sort of secret or anything. We both decided to just keep it to ourselves, and so that's how things played out.
Huh? I have no idea what you mean by that. It wasn't a secret, yet you kept that fact from me? Why would the both of you choose to hide that from me anyway?
That's because the both of us really care about our family.
Huh?
We both met somewhere where we had to talk about all the drama and pain we were going through as mothers, right? Had we said that the both of us knew each other and we were friends, we'd most likely have to talk about those gatherings as well. I'm sure that you and Alex and his dad don't want to hear about any of that stuff right from your mothers. So we chose to just keep quiet about how we've known one another for so long.
But come on, Mom! You hiding that from me ruined my wedding. Had I known that you were good friends with Alex's mom, then I would have...
Had you known about all that, then you would have never told me that I'm a moneyless woman and never wanted to cut ties with me. You wouldn't have said any of that, but you would have still hated me deep down just the same. You would have just kept hiding that fact from me for the rest of your life. All right. I'm sure my reasoning wasn't that great, so I'm sorry for hiding the truth from you. But I'm not going to hide anything else from you, so you can relax now. Now you have a good one, Summer.
Wait, Mom! Actually, I don't want to cut ties to you anymore.
Just because I happen to know Alex's mother doesn't mean you have to force yourself to call me your mother. I'm totally fine not having you around me anymore, so let's keep this whole cutting ties to one another thing going.
I'm not forcing myself or anything. If anything, I just don't like the idea of leaving you forever, so let's give all of that up. Starting today, you and I are mom and daughter again. So, can you please go and tell this to Renee for me?
What is all this about? I don't understand what's going on here currently.
Right now, they are talking about ending the talks about marriage, and I am really scared. So I'd really like your help in fixing all this. I want you to do something to get your friend to accept my marriage to her son again. Right now, she's so furious with me that I can't even have a conversation with her.
Whew, oh no. Renee is at that level of being upset with you then.
She's at that point where the next time I try and talk to her, she might now hold back. She always tells me that she won't let me be her daughter if I can't even understand the struggle of my own mother. And that she can't let me marry Alex if I'm never going to be thankful for the 15 years of hard work you put in for me. She just keeps going on and on about how she doesn't want me in her family anymore.
Oh my.
Renee had always been so kind to me before. I thought she'd be the perfect mother-in-law for me because I'd be spoiled. But now I can see just how pissed off even she can become.
Wow. Renee has really changed from the person she was years ago. In the past, when we had first met, she was a very quiet woman who wouldn't dare talk about her own opinions. So for the longest time, I was always telling her to always tell others how you feel, no matter how nervous you are. But to see her going all out like that with you, ooh, it warms my heart.
What am I going to do here, Mom? She isn't listening to anything I'm saying to her. She just tells me that she doesn't want to see my face anymore and sends me home while pouring water all over me. Right now I'm on my way home drenched in water.
Wow, that's amazing of her.
And when it comes to Alex, he's so shocked by what he's witnessed from me. I wanted to explain to him about how you really are poor, and so I did just that. But he replied to me saying that if we really were as poor as I've said, then I would never have been acting this way towards you. He told me that if I really can't tell the difference from being poor or being spoiled, then he doesn't want to live with me. He told me that he doesn't want to be stuck with someone that thinks they can be treated to everything, not because they were poor and without money, but because they were spoiled.
This really is such an awful time for the both of you then, huh? But I suppose he is right to say that I have spoiled you and that you are nothing more than a whining little brat.
So please, Mom, help me. You're the only person that can do something to fix all of this. You can go to them and get them both to agree to letting me into their family again.
What? You think I want to deal with all that?
If you don't do anything about this, I'm seriously going to lose my only chance at becoming rich. Are you trying to tell me you're fine with your daughter's happiness being destroyed? You should be saddened by something like this as my mom. If you really love me as your baby girl, then you'll do something to fix all of this.
Well, I'm not really thinking of you as my daughter anymore.
What?
So you can go ahead and cry all you want, but your problems have nothing to do with me. If you want them both to let you into their family, then you have to find a way to rebuild the trust you had with them before. You have already cut ties with me, and I have done the same with you. So please stop asking me for help.
Wait, you're kidding, right? You're just going to throw me away now?
The one who did that first was you to me, right? So would you please cut it out with that I'm the victim BS?
But I told you that I'm not cutting ties to you anymore. Please, Mom, don't say such hurtful things to me.
Jeez. I am not your mother anymore. So please stop calling me things like Mom.
Huh?
I told you already, right? I no longer view you as my daughter. So would you please stop thinking of me as your mother now?
But, Mom!
Nope.
Well, then what am I going to do from now on? The chance is very high that I won't be able to marry Alex anymore, and now you're telling me you're no longer my mom? I'm going to be left all by myself after all this?
It's all right, Summer. You still have your father, right? Although he's still addicted to gambling and I think in prison right now. But you still have some family left.
What?
So have a great life there, Summer. If you do ever have a chance to get married, good luck having kids. You want to go on vacations overseas every year and to Disneyland as well? Make sure to give them the most rich lives you always wanted from me. That marriage between Summer and her fiancé Alex ended up not ever happening in the end, as Alex left her very soon after the canceled wedding. It seems that Summer wasn't able to do anything about Renee being so against her, and Alex being so shocked by that. It turns out that I wasn't the only person that Summer began to brag to about becoming an affluent woman, but she did the same to her friends. Telling them all that she no longer had any need for her moneyless friends and would be saying goodbye to them all. But in the end, she is now stuck living life with nobody around to help her and having to manage on her own. Just before the wedding, Summer had also quit her job, and so as of right now, she is working a low-paying job trying to figure out what to do with herself. When it comes to myself, this whole relationship between Summer and Renee's son has led me back to meeting with my longtime friend again. So we happened to go out to that cafe a lot more together again and talk about how excited we are to have our kids out of the house now. And because of that, we started working on plans to take a vacation to the Bahamas or something to help ourselves unwind a little.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.